YouTube, just checking in. Obviously you can tell by the shirt we're doing something related to sound. So today we're going to build a subwoofer for my car. Now this isn't a normal subwoofer. This is a subwoofer that's going to go in the spare wheel well of my Tyre, because I'm sick of that big box taking all that room up, and I want the boot back, but I still want the good sound of a subwoofer. This is my old subwoofer. It's a 12-inch Sony, and then I had the amp to go with it. Originally I was going to take that sub out of its box, build a small round box and put it inside the Tyre well, but that subwoofer's too deep, so I had to buy a new amp. It was a little smaller, a new subwoofer that was slimline, build the box and put it in. So stick around and I'll show you how to do it. So to build this box, the round box, you need top, bottom, and then we're going to cut these rings out here. And these rings are just going to get stacked on top of each other until we have 140 millimeters high. And then we'll glue it all together. Then we'll cut a hole out in the middle here for the subwoofer, pop it in, and then it should fit nicely. Now, the way to draw these up is just by using a simple template like this. Is that right? Yeah, just a bit of cardboard. You just put a center in there and a pencil and draw around the outside. So I have to admit, I actually redid this on my bandsaw. So all that cutting, manual cutting, didn't really give a lovely finish. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So now you got to make sure it fits in the Tyre well. See, the problem I had was I measured it perfectly, but I'll show you. The spaces within the Tyre, well not spaces, the wheel balancing within the Tyre actually stuffed me up a bit. So that fits pretty good there now, and there's a bit of a gap. Hang on. See, there's a gap now because of this balancer, wheel balancing, that is. So you just stack these one on top, make sure it all fits. Right, so that looks pretty good. So I'll get the subwoofer and we'll see how that fits. So the subwoofer I'm using is a Rockford Estate slimline subwoofer. So that fits in there pretty good. I'll just make sure that it's below the Tyre line. Look at that, perfect. That's probably 10 mil below the Tyre line. So when you close or put the cover of the boot back down, it's not going to be touching the cone of the subwoofer, which is exactly what I wanted. So this is the old setup I had. Sony subwoofer, 12-inch, and Sony amp. Now, I bought these over 10 years ago, before I knew really anything about electronics or speakers or amplifiers or whatever. I did some research, and this guy is only capable of maybe 100 watts RMS, whereas this speaker requires 200 watts RMS. So this amplifier was exactly half the size of this speaker, which means it was only driving at 50%. So I never really got the full potential out of these two. So I'm doing away with that. I've done some research. Now, I'm not sponsored by Fusion or Rockford or anything. These are just the cheapest sub and amp that I could buy that work together. So this is a Fusion monoblock. This is capable of 400 watts RMS at 2 ohm. I'm not going to explain the 4 ohm and 2 ohm thing because there's plenty of other videos on YouTube. But pretty much you get this amp and you're going to hook it up to this guy here, and this guy is a 4 ohm subwoofer which we can wire up in 2 ohm mode, which gives us pretty much twice the power, and this thing should rattle the back of my car nicely. And because it's a shallow subwoofer as well, it fits in here really nicely. It's a perfect fit. So we'll go ahead and we'll glue it up now, and then we'll fit it in the car and see how it goes. Okay, so just filling you in, my camera battery died, so while it was dead, I was just gluing all these together. So because I cut these out on a bandsaw, they've got this little cut in here, so I just put wood glue in, I'm just clamped them all together. So they're all just drying now. Once they're dry, then we'll start assembling, with that being the bottom, first piece, second, third, etc. Okay, so it's the next day, the sun is up, the birds are chirping. Not really. Just the next day. Take all this off. Alright, see how it turned out. That looks pretty good. You see the decrease in diameter I had to put here because of that small lip inside the tyre. So let's see how it fits. Oh, look at that, like a glove. It even spins. Bonus. I'll take you in for a closer look. So there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 layers. And it's 120 millimeters deep. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Okay, so I've done some measuring on the bottom of this, and the depth between here and the screw point in the car, this is 15 mil, and another 15 mil, which takes us to 30. So if I use this bolt from here, which is 35 mil, I should have just a few threads that can screw into the bottom and hold it down. You don't want many, because then you'll be screwing and unscrewing this thing for ages. You just want half a turn and that's it, then it comes out. So what I'm going to do is drill a 9mm hole in here, because in between these threads is 9mm. So you can see that 9mm thread. I'm going to use this tap to put a thread in that wooden hole. I mean, if you don't have a tap, you could always just use the bolt and drive it in with an impact wrench, but I've got the thread, the tap, so I'm going to use it. Alright, it's time to put this bad boy together. So I've got it wired up here in 2 ohm, so just in parallel. Otherwise it's 4 ohm. Alright, it's almost ready. It just needs a quick disconnect on this side. And that subwoofer's ready. Oh, it's got a bit of weight into it. So I've got a screw on the bottom to screw it in, speaker box, and then shallow mount subwoofer. That is almost ready to go in the car. These are the connectors I'm going to use. Straightforward, they're just a universal 6-port plug you can buy from anywhere. Okay, sorry about that. Camera ran out of storage. So I finished the connectors. There's one side, there's the other side. Well, so I've got a nice quick disconnect here. There you go, connected. disconnected it just in case I've got to ever take this thing out of the car. It's all good, so let's check out the amp and see how this goes. Look at that, by the way. How good does that look? That's pretty good. Right, time to see how this fits. Oh, like a dream. Perfect. That fits all right. Got my amp there. All my wiring's tucked up in here. I might even put that amp underneath that. Don't know. Here it is. And I've just been testing it out and it sounds fantastic. I'll just fire it up. So pretty noticeable difference with a subwoofer off and on. The best part about this whole build is it sounds fantastic and now it's hidden away. Got my whole boot back, haven't lost my spare tyre, haven't lost my subwoofer. And they said I couldn't do it. Thanks for watching.